Hey, everybody, what is happening? Welcome to show 11. Gosh, I can't believe we're already on show 11. I've been out for a couple of days because I've been on the road coming back from beautiful Greenville, South Carolina, here to Pennsylvania. And I wanted to talk to you today about something that I think people have a hard time dealing with. You know, it's our purpose on this show to try to give value to people and not just try to pitch them and try to have them join our teams and go through all this, pay me money, I'll tell you the rest of it thing. And I hope that you appreciate that because to me, it's really important that we have a way here to really have an open dialogue about things. And today I want to talk about something that people don't talk about, and that is fear of failure. A lot of people think that it's worse to have a fear of failure than it is to have a fear of success. And actually, it's the opposite. If you have a fear of failure, you're normal. Okay? Everybody has a fear of failure. Nobody really wants to fail, right? But it's the people that have a fear of success that have the hardest time getting over that. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was if you have a fear of failure, what do you do? Okay? And let's just be real. You have it, right? I mean, think about it. You have it. Nobody wants to fail. But what do you do about it? Well, first of all, you've got to identify what it is that you're fearing, right? Or who it is that you're afraid to fail in front of. Is it your parents, your friends? This is the real insidious thing about the fear of failure is that most of the time when we have a fear of failure, it's not that we are fearing that in ourselves. It's the perception of what other people have of us. That's the thing that we fear the most. And it keeps us locked into and really paralyzed by not being able to take action on things that we're really in our heart to do. Okay? So the fear of failure is very insidious, but it's in everybody. So the first thing you got to do is give yourself a break and say, hey, I have it because I'm normal, because everybody has it to some extent. Okay? It's the ability to deal with that fear of failure, the ability to recognize it and then get by it. That's the difference between people that are highly successful and people that are not. Okay? So the first thing you've got to identify is, are you afraid to fail in front of friends? Are you afraid to fail in front of family? Is it your parents? And I tell you, one of the things that you can do is you can actually talk to those people about it. And you're going to probably find that it's very liberating because most people, now there are some parents that they want you to go to this college, not because they want you to get educated, but because they want to be able to tell their friends that you went to this college, right? It's like a feather in their cap, right? It's not really the education part of it. And that's too bad. But putting that aside, if you go to your parents and you say, look, I've been wanting to do this thing, and the reason that I haven't done it is because I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to fail in your eyes. And I bet that you will find that your parents or your friends or the people that you confront with this are going to tell you, you know what, don't not succeed. Don't stop from chasing your dream because of me, because I'm going to love you anyway. And if they don't tell you that, it won't matter anyway, because when you confront things like that, it tends to dissipate the energy that they create. So it's a good exercise to do. But the next thing you've got to do is figure out, how do I take action? Okay? How do I take action? How do I get, now that I've confronted this fear, what's the next step? And I'll tell you what the next step is, okay? The next step is a vision, okay? Have a vision of what you want to be, of what you want to accomplish. And then every day, when you make a decision about doing something, do it with that thought in mind. In other words, if your goal is to have your business and to be able to live independently in another place, right, and have a home-based business or whatever you happen to be doing, have a vision of what that looks like and take the time to make that vision very real in your mind. The more detail that you can put into it, the more real it becomes to your mind. And as we talked about before, it's all happening in here. The difference between a dream and a memory of something in the past, in literal terms of what it is in your mind, is nothing. They're exactly the same thing. The only reality that we can prove to exist is the one we're living in this instant, in this moment. So when you tell your mind this future tale, right? When you create this vision in your mind, it tends to draw that vision to yourself. It tends to become what your expectation tends to become what the reality is. And there's lots of reasons for that. That's for another show. But the fact of the matter is, the vision that you create in your mind is the one that will motivate you and the one that will give you the energy you need to get over a fear of failure. So when you have that fear of failure, recognize that it's real, that everybody has it, that you're no different than anybody else just because you have a fear of failure. The second key is figure out if you're really fearing failure because you're afraid to look bad in the eyes of others, or whether it's something that's actually happening within yourself. If it's outside of yourself, then go talk to those people. Then go tell them what's going on. Tell them your vision, tell them what you want, and tell them that you haven't done it because you're afraid to disappoint them. And you'll be very surprised at the outcome of what happens there. But the next thing is create that vision. Create that vision of what you want to happen. And then every time you feel that fear, look at the vision. Every time you're making a decision about what am I going to do, if the decision doesn't get you closer to that vision, then you know it's not what you want. Everything you do can be animated if you have a clear enough picture of what you want. But the thing that you really need to take from this is that if you have a fear of failure, you're in a much better position than if you have a fear of success. Having a fear of success is much harder to deal with. Having a fear of failure just makes you normal, just makes you like everybody else. So don't be paralyzed by it. Recognize that fear of failure is something that you can take some concrete steps to get over. And remember, if you dream it, if you believe it, then you can be it. Hey, this is Dave. I'm out.